What if your kindness is your prison? What if every time you say yes when you mean no, a piece of your soul vanishes? There's a silent war happening inside many of us, a war between who we are and who we think we have to be. Carl Jung called it the persona, the mask we wear to survive. We craft it carefully, we smile, we agree, we avoid conflict, not because it's who we are, but because somewhere deep inside, we believe the truth of who we are isn't enough. People-pleasing sounds innocent, harmless, noble even. But look closer. People-pleasing is not love. It's not kindness. It's fear. Fear of being rejected, fear of being alone, fear of being seen and not being enough. And so, without even realizing it, we become something else. We shapeshift. We blend. We fit in until we're a ghost in our own life. The danger isn't that people will reject you. The real danger is that you'll reject yourself. That's the hidden prison. Not bars, not chains, but a life spent smiling while your soul screams underneath. So ask yourself this: when was the last time you said what you really meant? When was the last time you were truly you? It doesn't start in adulthood. This isn't a grown-up problem, it's a childhood spell. Somewhere along the way you learned that being yourself came with a cost. Maybe it was a look, a cold silence, a raised voice, a withheld hug. Children are wise. They learn quickly. If truth brings punishment, they trade truth for peace. You became what they needed, the golden child, the quiet one, the helper, the peacemaker. You learned to read the room before you entered it. You learned to smile even when your heart was breaking, because love in your world was conditional. So you made a deal. I'll give you who you want me to be if you give me a place to belong. But that deal comes at a price. The more you become who they need, the less you remember who you are. Carl Jung understood this deeply. He said, "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. But that privilege is stolen the moment we believe we must earn love by disappearing. This is where people-pleasing begins, not as a choice, but as a survival strategy. There's a part of you you've buried, a part you were told was too much, too loud, too angry, too selfish, too strange. So you smiled instead, but it didn't disappear. It sank. Jung called this the shadow, the hidden self. The parts of us we repress, the desires we deny, the truths we disown. The more you try to be good, the bigger your shadow becomes, because that smile, that perfect mask, it's covering something raw and real. Jung didn't believe we should destroy the shadow. He believed we should befriend it, because only by facing what's hidden can we become whole. But people-pleasing avoids this. It pushes the truth further, underground, until the smile becomes a lie, and the shadow takes control. Suddenly, you're resentful. You're exhausted. You say yes, while your inner voice screams no. And you wonder why you don't feel alive. That's the cost of ignoring your shadow. You think you're avoiding conflict, but really, you're at war with yourself. Then one day, something breaks, not loudly, not dramatically, quietly. You wake up and feel nothing. The smile is still there, but it's hollow. You've kept the peace for so long, but your soul is tired. Tired of pretending, tired of shrinking, tired of disappearing. This is the breaking point, and make no mistake, this isn't weakness, this is awakening. Jung believed that neurosis arises when we're not living our truth. When the soul is silenced for too long, it starts to scream, through anxiety, depression, exhaustion, illness. But underneath the pain is a message. Come back to yourself. You are not here to be liked. You are here to be real. This moment, the breaking point, is sacred, because it's when you stop asking, what do they want me to be, and start asking, who am I so really? When you stop people-pleasing, something strange happens. At first it feels like loss. You lose approval. You lose validation. Some people walk away, but then something else appears. Clarity, peace, power. You begin to say what you mean. You begin to honor what you feel. You stop apologizing for existing. This isn't arrogance. This is alignment. Jung called it individuation, becoming who you truly are, not who the world told you to be. It's not about rebellion for the sake of rebellion. It's not about being loud or cruel. It's about returning to the self you buried long ago, the one who was bold, curious, wild, true. When you stop pleasing, you stop living in fragments. You become whole. And in that wholeness, you become untouchable, not because nothing can hurt you, but because nothing can take you away from yourself again. There's something you've never let yourself feel. Anger, but not chaos, not destruction. Sacred rage. It's the fire of all the no's you swallowed, all the boundaries you erased, all the times you made yourself small so someone else could feel big. This isn't about becoming hostile. It's about becoming honest. Jung believed our strongest emotions are gateways to our unconscious truth. Rage isn't evil. It's a signal. It's your soul saying, I've had enough. Enough pretending, enough pleasing, enough living for applause, while your own voice fades into silence. You are allowed to take up space. You are allowed to say, no. You are allowed to feel everything. This is how the buried self comes back to life, not with a whisper, but with a roar. Here's the paradox. When you stop trying to be loved, you become lovable, not because everyone will like you, but because the ones who truly see you, finally can. The mask was beautiful. It made you fit in. It made you feel safe, but it also kept the real you hidden. And here's the truth. You can't be truly loved if you're not truly seen. So yes, you may lose people, but you gain something far more rare. Self-respect, authenticity, peace. Mystics, sages, philosophers, they all said the same thing in different ways. Let go, and you will receive. Stop seeking, and you will be found. Approval is loud, but truth is quiet. And in that quiet, everything you were searching for is already waiting. There's a self inside you, not the one you perform, not the one who nods politely, smiles on cue, says all the right things. The real one, the one who cries without apology, who speaks with fire, who dreams without limits. That self has waited long enough. Carl Jung once wrote, I'd rather be whole than good, because good is safe, but whole is sacred. So here's the question you must face. Are you willing to lose the world's approval? To find your own soul? Because when you finally stop people-pleasing, but you don't become someone else, you become yourself. And that is the most dangerous, beautiful thing you can ever be. What if I told you the life you're living doesn't belong to you? What if the person you've become is a mask? And what if that mask is hiding not just your truth, but your soul? This is not just about saying no more often. This is about waking up from a dream and finally remembering who you really are. Let's begin. They smile, you smile back. You say yes when you mean no. You laugh at the joke that isn't funny. You hold your tongue when your soul is screaming. You think you're being kind, but deep down you feel tired, numb, hollow. Carl Jung called it the persona, the mask we wear to survive the world, to be accepted, to be praised, to be safe. But over time, the mask doesn't come off. It becomes your face, and you forget what your real face even looks like. In this section, we begin to see the cost of being the good one, the nice one, the one who never causes problems. You don't lose your reputation, you lose yourself. No child is born a people pleaser. They become one. A parent raises their voice. Teacher gives praise for silence. A friend withdraws love when you speak your truth. So you adjust. You learn to perform. You learn to shapeshift. You learn, if I'm quiet, I'll be safe. If I give them what they want, they'll love me. If I disappear, maybe I'll belong. This isn't weakness, it's survival, but survival has a cost. By the time we reach adulthood, we're no longer asking what we want. We're just scanning the room, wondering who we need to become. Carl Jung said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life. And you will call it fate. But this wasn't fate, it was fear, and now, but it's time to unlearn it. You've done everything right. You've made everyone happy. You've been the peacemaker, the helper, the one everyone can count on. So why do you feel like you're falling apart? This is the part no one warns you about. The moment when the soul says enough. You start snapping at small things. You feel numb where you used to feel joy. You lie awake at night wondering, is this it? This is the shadow. Jung's name for everything we hide. The anger, the desire, the truth, it doesn't stay buried forever. It leaks out. It screams. It burns. But here's the twist. That breakdown, it's not a failure. It's your soul